Today we're checking out the new Galaxy A15 by Samsung. It's got a 6.5-inch Super AMOLED display at 90Hz refresh rate with 1080 by 2340 resolution. It's also about 800 nits brightness. It comes with 4, 6, or 8 gigabytes of RAM with 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage. It comes with a MediaTek Helio G99 processor. You can also expand the storage with a micro SD card. It's got Bluetooth 5.3. Also has NFC and a fingerprint scanner there on the side, right on the power button. It's got a 5000 milliamp hour battery and up to 25 watt fast charging. Weighs in at about 200 grams. This is the international version. Comes in several different colors. The one shown here is called Blue Black. Pretty shiny here on the back. Almost feels like glass, but I believe that's plastic. Over on the right, you've got your power button, which doubles as the fingerprint scanner, volume buttons, charging port, and speaker on the bottom. Plus, you've got a headphone jack there as well, SIM card and micro SD card tray over on the left-hand side. When setting up, you've got face unlock, fingerprint, PIN, password, or pattern. Of course, you've got light and dark theme. Design-wise, it's going to match the other Samsung Galaxy phones, like the A54, the S23 FE, sort of boxy around the edges. Cameras stick out a little bit on the back. Overall, it has a pretty nice design to it. Swipe up anywhere to access all of your apps. You can see there's a few extras included, like Netflix, Facebook, Spotify, and then of course, your usual ones from Samsung, Google, and Microsoft. You also have the option of Google Discover or Samsung Free left of the home screen. Looks like pretty typical wallpapers to choose from. It'll also dim the wallpaper when dark mode is on. Here's light mode, here's dark mode. Not really a huge difference for this wallpaper. You've also got the edge panel over here on the side. You've got to turn that on in the settings though. For some reason, they don't have that on by default. You also have the option of 60 Hz or 90 Hz for the refresh rate. If you want better battery life, you might want to use standard, but I feel like it should be fine for the most part on high. As far as storage goes, it's using about 16% of the 128, but it's doing software updates, so it might be a little bit less than that right out of the box. Now, as far as screen quality goes, it's surprisingly pretty good on here. I feel like it's plenty bright enough, and considering this is one of the most affordable phones you can get from Samsung, I feel like it's going to be good enough for most people. It's on Android 14, One UI 6.0, and probably the first thing you'll notice is up in the notification shade. You can see it's got the newly styled notification shade where everything's in groups now. It's not a huge difference from the Android 13 version, but definitely a nice touch in my opinion. Up here at the top, you've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, most of your typical stuff in the middle like sound, auto rotate, airplane mode, flashlight, mobile data, mobile hotspot, power saving, location, quick share, nearby share, do not disturb, scan QR code, modes, multi-control. You also have eye comfort shield and dark mode right under the screen brightness. You've got smart view and device control as well. You've got settings, power. Nice thing is if you hit the little pencil, you can customize how much of the notifications actually show. Plus you can edit the shortcuts in there as well. You've got several things to choose from, like take screenshot, extra dim, NFC, secure folder, and Dolby Atmos. You can also turn this on where when you swipe from the right-hand corner, it gives you all of your shortcuts. Seems to be a little bit faster. You can also control when it shows the screen brightness. You can also turn off the device control and media output buttons as well. Just some nice added features in One UI 6. The fingerprint scanner actually seems pretty easy to use on here and fairly reliable in my testing. As far as performance goes, this one actually feels pretty smooth for the most part. Seems like a nice improvement over the Galaxy A14, as you can see by the Geekbench scores. It also plays games like PUBG Mobile and Asphalt 9 fairly smooth on here. Obviously, it depends on what kinds of games you'll be playing, but in my testing, it actually did better than I expected. It seems to have plenty of power to do most of your basic things. You can also do some multitasking on here. One of the nice improvements with this phone is it's got improved battery life over the previous Galaxy A14. After running my typical battery drain test, about 11.5 hours, so really good compared to other phones I've tested. The speakers on here aren't going to be the loudest out there, but I feel like it's pretty decent for a phone in this category. Maybe slightly better than the Galaxy A14. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what it sounds like. It's got a 13 megapixel front facing camera. You can see sort of a teardrop style, sort of personal preference, but not really my favorite. It's got a triple camera setup there in the back with a 50 megapixel main lens, 5 megapixel ultra wide, and a 2 megapixel macro lens. Just a quick look at the camera app. You've got fun, portrait, photo, video. Under more, you've got pro, panorama, food, night, macro, and slow motion. You can also shoot up to 1080p full HD resolution at 30 frames per second for video recording. Obviously, this isn't going to be the fastest shutter speed out there, but it still does a decent job, at least in my studio lighting. Here's a few quick samples of photo and video, just to give you an idea of what to expect. To be honest, I wasn't expecting the cameras to be this good on a phone in this category, but maybe I'm just used to testing out tablet cameras here recently. It does surprisingly well. Really, the only downside is the slow shutter speed, but as long as there's not a lot of moving objects and you've got decent lighting, you can get good results from this phone. It should be fine for Zoom meetings or other video conference calls as well. I may have to do some more comparisons with this, but overall, the A15 has nice build quality, good cameras, great battery life, and I can see this one being one of the most popular devices from Samsung in 2024. If you like phone and tablet comparisons, I've got quite a few that I'm working on right now, so you'll want to keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.